everybody wants to change you. I just want to be myself and do what I want. And I want other people to do the same. That's a good answer for that.
I think that's a great answer.
That's what I feel. Okay, let's do that.
You just did
Hopefully
that.
I can say that!
We already
Did you get that?
Yeah, we already did.
Oh, cool. You should keep this.
Are you kidding me?
Ah!
I'm kidding.
Ah. My buddy Matt runs a label in California, independent label, and he's the fucking man, and he puts out our records and constantly tells me we're his favorite band, and I know for a fact that we don't make him any money. We absolutely cost him money, so he's pretty much, I don't know, he's my lord and savior at this point, because having anybody wanting to invest in putting out my records is incredible at this point. So he's my he's one of my best friends, and I miss him a lot. He does great work too. I don't know. The world's scary. It seems like it's hard to be yourself sometimes, and to get ahead, you kind of gotta sell a little bit of yourself. And I kind of feel that crunch. You know, I'm married. My wife and I want to start a family, and it's really hard to kind of sustain yourself or sustain that sort of goal. Just being yourself. It's like the world wants to change you at every corner, and you know, it's something I struggle with, but the band's my outlet to kind of resist and just say I'm not fucking like you. I don't want to be like you. I want to be myself, and you can go fuck yourself, pretty much, in the most loving way possible. This is like best thing that ever happened to me. We put out a lot of records, releases before that, and we wrote a lot of good songs. I mean, I personally don't think we ever wrote a bad song, but our releases before that kind of seemed like collections of songs, and there's nothing wrong with that, but this was the first time me and the dudes kind of invested in an album, like start to finish. It just felt full. I mean, we did a bunch of EPs and stuff, and that's all well and good, but this was like a big time project. It was something we were really locked in for, and it was the best fucking time writing it, recording it, releasing it, and then Animal Style, you know, backing it 100%. Like, this artwork is insane. Like, I wouldn't have been able to hook that up. You know, this was the first time we wrote a full album, and I remember when it was done, I would just listen to it in my car at night over and over and over again. I was just so proud of it, and like I knew Joe was so proud of it, and you know, I could just feel it. It lasted about 3 years. Nothing could touch me. Like, anything bad that happened in my life, it didn't matter, because I wrote this and we made this, and it was just the most incredible feeling. Like, I feel like the people writing the menu at like a good pizza place are the same thing as a group of songwriters writing an album, writing a record. You know, there's a lot of thought that goes into that shit. It's not just, you don't just throw shit down and hope somebody buys it. You know, you think about that. You know, I've had pieces of pizza where like these guys probably crushed over this for fucking days, you know, getting it right and figuring out the right amounts and what goes with what. It's the same thing as me writing a riff and thinking about, you know, what kind of bass line is going to go under this, and then my drummer going, that's a pretty good riff, what the fuck can I do with that? Like, how is that really any different than throwing toppings on a pizza, or figuring out how thick your dough is going to be, or how much cheese you're going to put, you know? Sometimes a lot of cheese is really good. Sometimes no cheese is fucking dope. You know, there's a lot of variation. There's a lot of ways you can go. And I love that. I love that about pizza. I love that about music. It's something that a lot of people don't understand at first, or don't want to understand. And the thing about music is, you don't have to understand it. Like, music, there's plenty of music that you just put on because it just sounds good, or it makes you feel good, and you don't have to think about it. But I write brain music. I write music that you have to sit and digest and think about, and I play a lot of games with my music. I do a lot of things that require a lot of, you know, in-depth critical thinking. It's like philosophy to me. You know, you got to rip it apart to find out what it's really about. There's a lot of layers, not just the layers you hear, not just the layers I write lyrically, but the feels and everything. And you know, you gotta invest time to really get the most out of our records. So I don't expect everybody to want to invest time, and most people don't, but they're lost. martyrdom. I take inspiration from things, not so much as like I hear something, I go, I want to sound like that, or I dig that sound, or I dig what they're going for. But I hear it and I go, you know, those dudes don't give a fuck, you know, or gals. They don't give a fuck. They do what they want to do. They're on their own fucking planet. They don't care who likes it. And usually, you know, when that happens, it just makes me want to pick up a guitar and just do my own thing. Where when I write, I'm trying to release all this shit that's inside of me that you know, when I participate in the real world, I can't let it out. I can't vocalize it. I can't act the way I want to act, speak the way I want to speak. You can't even hold the views that you want to hold in a lot of situations. So music is a time for me to just, you know, to breathe a little bit, let my soul fly. And when you see somebody else fucking do that, you know, that's all the inspiration you need. It just makes me want to go, I just want to be myself. I don't care. I just want to do what I want to do. And that's usually how inspiration works for me. Like our band's inspiration, our influences and stuff, they're not necessarily only things that we sound like. Like people say, like they talk influences, like who's your biggest influence? And you know, I want to say like Negative Approach, like Sheer Terror, and like serious hardcore bands, and it's like we don't necessarily sound like that, but I feel like there's no difference, because what I took from those bands and stuff like that is just they don't give a shit, and they're not going to play a game, and they're just being themselves, and they're not afraid to let it out and exist, and that's inspiration that I look for. That's the influence I look for. I was super into this band Drug Test, my boys, like, and when we first recorded our demo, I went to a show, one of their shows, and I gave them our demo tape, and then like I got a message on AIM, yo, we listened to your demo the whole way to New Jersey on this tour, over and over, and that demo was 2 songs. It was 2 fucking songs, and they were like, we just put the tape in, listen to it, rewind, put the tape in, listen to it, rewind, and it's like, I don't know if the band would have even kept recording as much material as we did if like little things like that didn't happen, because it's like a catalyst. Like I said, it just validated our existence. Like what we're doing is important, and people will notice. And then again, you know, good subjective. It's fucked up. It's just nobody likes anything real. That's why we're the Fake Boys.